Thank you, Ms. Partila, for giving me the opportunity to talk to you about myself. Um, my presentation today is going to be in four parts. First, I'll give you an introduction. Then I'll talk about the organization Hero that I've been working with. I'll talk about my team. And in part three, I'll talk about my experiences with the different modules in IH 743. And I'll conclude by telling you about the other talents and skills that I'm bringing into my public health career. So my name is Delphine Kwankam. I was born and raised in Cameroon. I now live in Boston with my husband and two sons and work for Professor Henry Louis Gates Jr. at Harvard while pursuing my MPH part-time. So my interest in public health came from right after college. I studied English and French, and the first job that I had was working for a grassroots organization in Cameroon called APWAC, Association for the Promotion of Women and Children. This organization provides occupational training to rural women. So at the time that I was working for APWAC, it was catering to 750 women in over 80 villages in the southwest region of Cameroon. During that time, as I traveled through the villages, I realized that health is really critical in any community. If the women are not well, it doesn't matter what kind of training you give them, they're not going to be able to provide for their families. So I started thinking about programs that could help improve the health of the population. And particularly one experience that I had in one of the villages that I went to, where the women were involved in converting cassava to gari. They had no idea that there was a direct correlation between the piles of cassava peelings in their backyards and the malaria that their children were suffering from. So at the time, APWAC decided to do a little intervention where we encouraged the women to leave the cassava peelings in the farms. So they would, instead of bringing the cassava home and peeling it home, they would peel it in the farm and bring the cassava, so they don't have to live with the peelings in their immediate surroundings, for lack of a better way to dispose of it. So I later on moved on to work for the UN World Food Program in food aid, and this also gave me an exposure to how critical it is to expose me to the kind of programs that really affect the lives of people in low resource environments. I'm going to shift gears right now and tell you a little bit about HERO, the organization that I've been working with for the past 2 months. HERO stands for Health Economics, Epidemiology and Research Office. It's a South African-based organization which was created as a collaboration between the Wits Health Consortium, which is part of the University of Witwatersrand in Johannesburg, and the Center for Global Health and Development here at Boston University. Basically, HERO's purpose is to conduct applied policy and program relevant research and evaluation on issues of public health importance in South Africa. HERO responds directly to the requests for information and technical assistance from the South African National Department of Health, from PEPFAR, from USAID, and from healthcare providers, answering questions of immediate and practical relevance to these stakeholders. HERO in 2012 received a new grant from USAID under the Inroads project, and this grant HERO anticipates is going to contribute to significant expansion of its programs within the next few years. And that's related to all the projects that we're going to be helping HERO, the proposals that we're making to HERO. Some of them are related to the implementation of this Inroads project. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the team that I've been working with before I start telling you about the projects that we've been working on. So I'm going to introduce you to Diksha, who is a physician, has experience working in India. Jessica has a background in international studies and has been involved in several volunteer missions in Africa and the developing world. Matt has an MBA and extensive experience as a financial analyst for health care organizations here in the Boston area, and recently was a global health consultant for a Swaziland NGO. Mucho is also a physician and an epidemiologist from Tanzania. Now that you've met my team, I'd like to introduce you to our first project, which was to create a 2-year work plan for the Orphans and Vulnerable Children project in Ethiopia, complete with M&E plan and Gantt chart. This was a logical step, as planning is essential to any program, and a program is only as great as the planning that went into it. Learning how goals, strategies, activities, and indicators have to be aligned was a practical and effective way to bring the skills to life. The cluster critique presentation style which we used for this module provided an opportunity for me to give and accept constructive peer feedback, which prepared me for future presentations in this class. One particular highlight for me in this during this presentation was the Afghanistan group flip charts, which still stand out to me as being very thoroughly thought out and easy to follow. Our next project was on human resource management. I was the team leader for this module. And in addition to everything that we learned about the recruitment cycle and how critical it is to plan the recruitment process according to the kind of talent that we're looking to attract, the most important point that I took home from this project was the discussions around how to retain talent once they are part of the team. Sometimes we often feel like human resources ends once we get our foot in the door or get our vacancy filled. Our project for this module was very distinct from the other groups. We were tasked with developing a proposal for improving the Kwan Cup Fellowship program at Hero. This was a great experience as it let us explore fellowship opportunities in public health around the world, and we're able to develop recommendations that will provide Hero with the tools to leverage the uniqueness of their fellowship program, being at the cutting edge of epidemiology and health economics. Presentations from other groups were very helpful in understanding some of the more practical HR issues facing public health organizations in the developing countries, notably preparing job descriptions, ads, newspaper ads, as well as online and other more dynamic ad outlets. The next module was quality improvement. Ever since my experience with creating a process map, I have been creating one for every single project that I work on. This skill will stay with me throughout my public health career. Hero asked us to provide a proposal for improving the hiring process. We proposed the PDSA model to improve the recruitment process of the Kwan Cup Fellowship, and it presented an opportunity for us to think outside the box and to be more innovative in dealing with some of the challenges facing Hero in South Africa. The process map we created seemed complex but very, very comprehensive, as it has 3 distinct, easy to follow sections. Our next module was the health information management. This module so far is the highlight of my experience with IH 743. I love the idea that the mobile technology which has infiltrated the developing world can be leveraged to improve health outcomes in developing countries. However, for this module, Hero requested that we provide a comprehensive communication strategy for the organization. This project provided an opportunity for me to zoom in on what is required for effective communication both within the organization and how an organization communicates with the outside world. Important things to note here were that communication, effective communication is very, very important in achieving organizational goals. I'm particularly proud of our deliverables for this module because, for one, it was something that was highly needed at Hero, something that Hero was excited about, and we sure hope that it is absolutely useful to you. Now that you've learned all about what the different modules in IA 743, I'd like to just highlight that this is a class that will remain with me for a long time. The course has challenged me to develop and improve my professional skills in research, presentation, team management and leadership, and self-promotion like I'm doing through this video. In addition to these, everything that I've learned at BU School of Public Health, I have a 15-year experience in different professional and cultural settings, and this has enhanced my interpersonal skills and ability to work effectively in diverse teams and under pressure. Over the years, I've built on my organizational skills and ability to multitask, which I will take with me into my public health career. Outside the professional arena, I'm involved in sociocultural groups such as LISA, where I'm the chapter president for the New England area. This is a group of women that work to support each other, but most especially to raise funds and advocate for the education of the girl child in Cameroon. Next spring, I plan to complete a practicum in Cameroon, where I hope to apply more of the skills in public health programs in that country. I hope to bring everything with me into my public health career, my 15 years experience, my educational skills, my personal talents as a leader and as a person, and I hope to speak to you more about this. Thank you.